Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel. Some more Crusader Kings 3 fun here with the Angevin, the Plantagenets as they are now known as. Already a little bit, but still, that's what Fulk has established. And speaking of Fulk, let's take a quick little look and see how he is developing and doing. He is an administrator and a hunter. He added administrator as a trait recently. He's still pretty much average to below average. He's a patronize. He patronized a local saint, and he's gotten funding natural philosophy. So, he's an interesting guy in the sense that he's actually pretty. I don't even know how to say it, but he's not really overly impressive, but he's achieved a lot. And when we take a look at him in his family, and this is something, occasionally to take a look at, is he's got a great relationship with his family. I think, let's see, the lowest one here is a 66 with his son Hugh, a 60 with his brother Geoffroy, who, of course, he supplanted early on in his reign as Duke. So he's very well liked. I think he's now achieved the same level of popularity as his father did at the end of his life, but of course, Fulk II is nowhere near as accomplished as his father or grandfather were, as far as his attributes or his traits are. But other than that, I mean, he's overall quite well liked. If we look at his vassals, the Prince Bishop of Chalon isn't a big fan. Other than that, I mean, it's relatively okay. There are a few outliers here, but not too terribly many. None where you look at it and you go, whoa, that's really, really bad. Even Countess Eva of Lusignan has kind of come around after a while. It took a while. Doesn't have overly high prestige. He is distinguished. He is dutiful in his level of piety. The treasury's okay. Dread is nothing, really. I mean, he is not his grandfather, to say the least. But he's done well. I mean, he's reunified the lands, and he established his own cadet branch. So, yeah, overall, very successful. So, what can we expect here in today's episode? Well, one, who knows what we can expect, right? The last episode was, I titled it Peace and Scandal because there were a lot of scandalous revelations that Fulk's spy master was able to uncover. And it was peace. There were no wars. He didn't go to war. Now, in today's episode, the plan is it's time for a little bit more expansion. We're looking very hard at expanding into Aquitaine bit by bit, kind of gobbling up their lands, and then also expanding in here and kind of unifying the land. So, I mean, it just cuts straight through here. Something in common. I am happily soaking at the bathhouse, sharing deep reflections and salacious jokes with Count Thibault. It was really interesting because Thibault obviously has been a bit of a thorn in the side for our house. As I feel all tension leaving my body, I realize that it's not just the warm water loosening my muscles. I am genuinely having fun. It's all because Thibault's company. Till we discovered our common passion for bathhouses, we hadn't had any chance to really interact or get to know each other that well. Now, I really look forward to our regular rendezvous there, as they are always filled with laughter and merriment. Have we truly become friends? Indeed, a toast to Thibault. Which is kind of interesting given how problematic Thibault the Shy of Chartres has been, even predating Fulk, or Fulk II's reign. So that's an interesting turn of events. So while our bishop is working on finding some documents. Oh, wife encourages chivalry, 350 prestige gain. Excellent. In Montargis, we are kind of looking down south here, and I believe Aquitaine is ripe for the taking. But first, let's kind of review who we have here on our council. Renan de Roquefort is still our chancellor. Let's see if there is, by chance, a better chancellor in the meantime. There is not. Not currently. Now, as far as steward goes, here things look a little bit different. Budevoy, who came to us recently, he would be a better chancellor. The problem, of course, is that Count Raoul of Issoudun is a powerful vassal, so he wants to be on the council. Budevoy is irritable. He's a pilgrim, logistician, and aspiring blade master. He's really good all around in a lot of aspects. It's good to have him. He's a knight, so I think that's really good with a prowess of 14. Other than that, I mean, we could move to Louis Estouteville, another acclaimed knight. He's a fortune builder. This guy is a thrifty clerk. And another fortune builder in Count Renaud. So we could reassign there. I am hesitant, especially I will say Fulk is hesitant to get rid of Count Raoul of Issoudun and upset a key and powerful vassal thusly. Take a look at our marshal. Is there anyone better here? Count Udès the Shy, more so than Count Emery V of Montaigu. Trying to see if there's anybody here that is a powerful vassal that we could put in here. Not really. Count Udès, he is an overseer. He's gallant. He's an aspiring blade master, a hunter, brilliant strategist. He would actually be a better marshal for us. So Emery will lose 20 opinions of you for 10 years, but he's at plus 60, so I am not worried there. Now, if we look here at Count Raoul, again, I really don't want to upset a powerful vassal, so I think we're just going to keep that as is. And here there's no other powerful vassal that would really make for a good chancellor. As far as Mayor Beatrice, she's done really well for us. And here too, there are no powerful vassals that would make sense to make that swap. So a quick little change here at the marshal position. We are still the steward for the King of France, so yay for us. I believe Count Hugh of Troyes, we could pardon him. I haven't quite decided that. We could lawfully imprison him. Now, he would lose 30. He is known criminal. Excommunicate, allowing you to imprison him without being viewed as a tyrant. But I don't really see a reason for this that would really help us at this point. So we're going to pardon him and get on his good side. If we look at our wars here right now, we've got a few that we could do. Let's take a quick look here. Now, of course, we've got Aquitaine because we have our own claims, and we can then kind of go through here and choose what province would make the most sense. Countess Ava, she doesn't really have anything in there. Duchess Margarita is in Limousin. So, yeah, not a whole heck of a lot there. We look at Burgundy, Count Raoul's claim. So, County of Auxerre or Nevers. I don't know if I really want to go to war for them. Countess Venmont the Cruel, Count Thibault's claim of the County of Montargis. So we could make a powerful vassal even more powerful and give him this. He is our friend now. Duchess Ava, we could get her, or the Countess Ava, the full Duchy of Gascon. But I don't really want to do that. Got a new lifestyle perk here for stewardship. Now we can go with avaricious, which I'm a big fan of. If you go down this, avaricious gives you +2 stewardship, plus 15% holding taxes. Golden obligations, you can demand payment for hooks, which is nice. Collect tax effectiveness of +25% going down architect. We can cut down building costs. We're going to go down avaricious and go with golden obligations and get some cash. So actually, I think going to war for our friend might not be bad. Might not be bad at all. We're going to go to our account. So we're actually going to change this and go to Brie Française instead. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change our rally point to Orléans. So we can move straight in to Montargis. And we can... Oh, a faction has disbanded. Excellent. Montargis will be our target. I think that just makes sense. Add that. We have then that connection, and then we can add this and maybe give this to one of our sons to have a county holding. We have a child of our dynasty. My daughter-in-law has given birth to a daughter, Agnes. I like that one. All right, so enough of that. We are going to go to war here. For Count Thibault's claim of the county of Montargis. We can't because we don't have the... what is the issue here? I cannot declare this war without using a hook on my liege due to the realm's laws. That's the problem here. Understood. Okay. Yeah, because he changed the laws. And so we basically need... permission to do that. Well, in that case, we're still going to fabricate the claim here. We're going to leave that as is. And instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to send my spy master back to Ile-de-France, to the King's Court, and see if she can find something on him. Now, instead, we're going to turn our attention south towards Aquitaine and take a quick look at some of these counties that we are bordering. I don't want to go beyond that, but Limousin could be one, Angoulême or Onís. Angoulême or Onís make the most sense because we share the longer border with it. We look at Onís itself. We have a decent amount of taxes coming out of La Rochelle, the castle. A lot of loot in there. They've got a fort level of 4, so it's pretty decent sized castle. Angoulême, we've got more holdings here. So if we look at taxes, there's a lot more that can come in here from Angoulême, Saint-Junien, or Cognac. And the holding here is only a level 3 in this castle. So if we expand south, going here, I think makes the most sense. We could move into Limousin. And here the castle is a level 4. Taxes and loot in Limoges are relatively low. So I think Angoulême makes the most sense. It's the one we could get the easiest. I'm going to go for... where is it? Angoulême. We still can't obviously declare the war because we need that hook on our liege. Yeah, I just ignored the same thing that I just looked at. So, Death of Demons, he needs a successor. Let's see what we have. Roubaud is really the only one there. So, to make him a successor, we have to make him a knight. Let's take a look. We don't really have great knights overall. We've got a few decent ones. So, Hugh, we will forbid. Roubaud is now once again a knight, and he can now be the successor. there. Okay. So we can't really declare any of the wars that I would so like to do. Now let's take a look at some of these here as far as where we could get some cash, maybe from Duke Esteve of Toulouse, Countess Venmont the Cruel. I mean, we've got some money that we could bring in from them, so we'll just keep an eye on that right now, and then possibly do that. Ansem of Albi. Let's take a look. Oh no, our hook has expired here. So yeah, let's demand a payment for that. So there is 50. And we have someone with the Earldom of Devon claim has come to our court. Not overly concerned about that. I just looked at it. Had I clicked a little bit faster, then we would have cashed in that hook. Oh well. You know, I think we will take a look at getting in some of these hooks. We've got a few more that we can now blackmail for the cash. So we're going to do that here. This mayor here, we're going to blackmail him. And Mayor Beatrice, who is hooking up, we can't. So now we can do the blackmail. So we are going to do that. And then blackmail the lover, our own son. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that to our son. We're not going to do that. And I'm not going to go after Duke Conson the Timid at this point either. So now we've got a few more here. We can get a little bit of cash. May as well demand some of those payments. Duke Reina, we're going to do that. He doesn't have enough money to pay everything. That's okay. And Duke Esteve of Toulouse, we're going to demand that payment as well. The main reason there is we already have our alliance with him, so getting that extra cash in is worth it, in my opinion. And Duke Conson is swayed a little bit more. Once we get a little further in terms of him liking Fulk II more, then we'll cash in that hook as well. Again, we already have alliances. Not really worried about them in any other capacity, but this way we can get some cash, and that always helps. Along those lines, let's actually take a look and see where we can improve things as far as county development goes. In Blois, we can construct more here. Okay, Beatrice is not finding anything. If there's anything, you will find it. We need to see if we can find something at the king's court to gain a hook so we can start declaring wars again. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to fortify a little bit. We're going to turn Blois into a keep. Keep is very important because then we can upgrade other things as well. That increases our taxes as well as danger gets reduced, fort level increases, the stationed men-at-arms damage and toughness increases, siege weapon effectiveness increases, garrison reinforcement rate goes up, more levies, and a larger garrison. So we're going to, do I want to spend 500 in the treasury? That is a lot. That's a bit spendy right now, to be perfectly honest. We can look at increasing other things first to kind of bump up our holdings taxes there. Get stables isn't bad. That increases cavalry, army movement speed increases, travel speed goes up. And Grand Tournament, Joust, Horse Race, and Melee Contest, and the holding is minus 10%. Enables superior amounts travel option. So I think we're going to go with stables here. I'd like to build a keep, but that's a bit much at this point. Yeah, that's rather expensive. Our farms and fields from hamlets. to barns and storehouse. That's a nice jump here, but we're not there yet. We don't. We can't upgrade because Vendôme needs to be a keep first. So just kind of bumping up little things here. Cattle pastures. This is always a nice one because it increases supply limit, taxes, garrison size, levies. Here we get levies plus 75. Supply limit goes up, and a bump up in our holdings and our taxes. So we're going to construct that. Just investing a little bit more internally. Tours itself, we can add cattle pastures here as well. We could go with barracks, always a nice one. Heresy, Lollards in Julant. Aha, so Duke Frode of Julant has announced to the world that he and his vassals have converted to Lollardy. What twisted mockery of our faith is this? Okay, enough of that. I think one more construction here. We could go with barracks or a trade port. Ooh, I do like that. Merchant galleys load, because they could here. So we can get a small harbor, fishing net weaver, and it bumps up our development growth, really. Taxes a little bit. But other than that, not much more. We've got a major river here in the Loire. Angers itself is another one where we can build some more. Construct a new duchy building. Okay, we're going to look at that here in a second. Okay, I guess we're gonna do that now. The faithful prepare for war. A papal envoy has reached my court, bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Victor issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic Duke, I'm expected to prepare my men in support for this most holy cause, sponsored by the Universal Church itself. To all those who will take the fight against the vile infidels desecrating the holy grounds of Aragon. Aha, so the Reconquista, essentially, in Spain. The Holy See promises full absolution from all sins, a guaranteed place in heaven. My warriors will be ready to fight. Absolutely, this is something... if we remember, Fulk's grandfather and father fought in the Baltic Crusade, which brought Pomerania actually into the House Anjou. I'll gladly help finance? No. Perhaps I should consider joining? No. The warriors will fight. He's ambitious and he wants to be a part of this. So what do we have here? No beneficiary. Let's see. Beneficiaries. Oh, Geoffroy of Plantagenet or our aunt Ermengarde. No, we're going to go with our son, Geoffroy, who, of course, he's the eunuch. So he's going to be the beneficiary of this. Excellent. Excellent. Launches in 14 months, so we have time to prepare. Duchy buildings are great. We can add more here, marches and so on. I need a little bit more money. I wanted to build up other areas first, but we absolutely 100% will invest in duchy buildings in future as well. So you can see the crusade for the Kingdom of Aragon. Aragon will be launches on the 10th of January, 1131. So it's heading that way. If we look at the military strength right now, 12,000 on the Catholic side and 10,000 on the Mualadi side. So defenders here, we could see all of the African rulers very clearly. And then the attackers right now, we've got Grandmaster Conrad of Knights Templar, the Pope, and, well, us. So we shall see. Who can I replace it with? I mean, really just our aunt. Is there anybody else that I may have missed? No. But Geoffroy, I think, would be perfect. Honestly. Spy Master Secret Uncovered. You learned Orson is a non-believer. Okay. So continue finding secrets at Henri's court because we need, ideally, a strong hook on the king. Because then we can also do a lot of things. We can maybe force his hand a little bit in some other aspects as well. Renewal of patronage. After 5 years, the funds I set aside for the patronage of my natural philosopher Hugh have run out. I can now choose whether or not to renew my patronage for another 5 years or let him go. I can extend the patronage 120. And what does it give us again? Learning plus 2, development growth plus 15%. He's been doing good work. Give him a bonus. No. You know what? We are not too far away from going on crusade. Can't really afford to spend that kind of money. Count Guitard. Go on the hunt there. I don't think so. I think we're going to decline that. A nose for profit. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares. If my lord has the coin. As I peer at the myriad of goods in the stall, I can hear Count Raoul V murmur, the etchings on that piece must be real, quite valuable too. He glances at me with a triumphant smile. This one should be a steal. So, either spend 25 or spend 120. I believe this piece will be the more lucrative choice. Okay. I trust your expertise in the area, steward. All right. We will do that. Your haggling skills prove to be excellent. You gain 100 stewardship lifestyle experience. Excellent. You have become the owner of Moniker's Horn. Okay, so fertility plus 15%, spouse opinion plus 10. Okay, we will actually need to put some of these things in place. We have the masterwork weapon. Excellent. What else do we have here? Masterwork trinket. Let's put these trinkets in here. Forgetting about these. There we go. So now that is all put in place. Is there anything else we are missing? Nope. Not at this point. Actually, let's take a look here at some of our positions. We've got a court physician whose aptitude is poor. We've got an adequate or an average caravan master. Antiquarian. Is there anyone good? Budevoy is average. And we may as well appoint him. We've got the money. So we're going to appoint him as antiquarian. A court tutor. Louis. Okay, we can afford to do that. Or Guillaume, our physician. Oh, we're going to do Louis. He will be our court tutor. Master of the Hunt. We can afford this as well. Amar, our knight, would be an excellent master of the hunt. So we will appoint him. Seneschal and Jester. No, personal champion. Amar would be good as a personal champion. So we will do that. And I think that does it for now. Because that all is going to cost us some money. Let's pick Isabel. Her education focus. She is leaning heavily towards stewardship. So we will have her learn more of that. Let's actually see if we can maybe build an alliance somewhere else now. And there are quite a few we could betroth her to that are like crazy old. Let's not do that because that's just weird. A Duchy of Austria would be one. Earldoms here. Let's go closer to our age. Let's actually take a look at alliance power. Somebody who's not insanely old. Duchy of Barcelona. I mean, she's 4, he's 14. That's a bit extreme. I mean, this could be. I mean, this is with House Babenberg. These are the It's the Duchy of Austria. Can't really do a matrilineal marriage, but you know, honestly, she's 4. We're just gonna wait for right now. We're not gonna betroth our 4-year-old to like some that were in there that were in their 50s, 60s, or 70s. That's creepy beyond anything else. The powerful bear of Blois. My master of the hunt, Aymar, brings word of beasts spotted in my realm. I'm hearing much talk from Blois. It is said a foul bear has been terrorizing the local villages, snatching livestock before disappearing into the forest. Interesting. County of Blois has gained beast sighting for 3 years. And beast sighting, so a ferocious beast has reportedly been terrorizing this county. Hunt success chances increased in the county. Interesting for 3 years. How long do we still have until the Holy War? Blackmail refused, tried to do that. Hate to admit it, but I cannot reveal the secret. A threat was made, and there can only be one outcome. We are going to expose his secret. So, we've got 6 months until this, so we're not going to host a hunt. That would be great. We're going to wait for this to kick off, and then look, we've pledged ourselves to this noble cause, and it's for the Kingdom of Aragon. So, right here, if we win the crusade, there's a very good chance, it's looking like, at least my beneficiary will be Geoffroy Plantagenet. I mean, maybe our son will become King of Aragon. We'll have to wait and see. Who else has joined here on the attacker side? Anyone major? The Count of Nuremberg, the Grandmaster Konrad of the Knights Templar. That's, of course, huge. Anybody else of big note? Duke Gebhard of Nordgau. The Duke of Flanders. Excellent. And we have found that we do indeed have a claim on the County of Brie-Française. See it done. And now we're just going to stop with that right now because we're going to save some money. Seeing if there's anybody else here. Duchess Gisela of Jülich. Duchess Gisela of Tyrol. And other than that, Duke of Corsica. Count Johann of Dortmund. Duke Lodin, the Hermit. Interesting. Duchess Flandine of Calabria. So there are quite a few who have pledged their support to this. So my assumption is it'll go right here for the heart of it. Right here. We've got Countess Alienor is there. Countess Isabella is here. And then in here we have Emir Yusuf II Ibn Ahmad and of the Hudid dynasty. So that is the most likely one that'll go after. So a Iberian, I'm not going to call it Spanish crusade just because Spain doesn't exist as a nation state, but an Iberian crusade. Interesting. It's interesting that I haven't seen any of the kings here, neither Galicia nor Castile. I don't believe I saw the Duke of Barcelona as part of this either. You'd think they would, but we need to cross the Pyrenees, either go around this way or go around this way. It's not going to be the easiest terrain to fight in. We can see a lot of woods. There's a river going right down the center of it, and then you have the mountains up here in the north. So what we'll probably do is come in here through Navarra and just go straight for the center. Let's see what our spymaster Beatrice has found. Held by the Duchess Brunacenda of Gascony. Just recently taken Gaucher de Chappe, a nobleman from Tinmalal, as a lover. Okay, that's useful to know. Gaucher de Chappe lover. We're going to actually blackmail her. She will accept. And the crusade is about to begin. So we're just going to do that real quick. Alright, Crusade for Aragon. The time has finally come to bring St. George's holy wrath against the vile infidels of Aragon. Inflamed by righteous fury and unyielding resolve, the great army of Crusaders assembled by Pope Victor sets forth to deliver divine justice upon the wicked and earn their place in heaven. Deus Vult. Time to raise all of our forces and head south. So, our cash reserves are getting... I mean, we're still making some money every month, but not as much as we could. Who is our commander here? It is Count Udis the Shy, 69 years old. That's quite old. Okay, we're going to send our army here and move south. New stewardship lifestyle perk. Herregeld, vassal tax contribution plus 10%. War profiteering, monthly income while at war plus 10%. And it is my domain. Can use extort subjects decision. I think war profiteer is a good thing to do right now, where we are in the midst of a crusade. So we're taking a look at the size of the assembled armies down here. Fulk has come of age, always the curious, knowledge-hungry child. Fulk has shown an affinity for scholarship from an early age. An avid learner, he has become quite the purveyor of knowledge and has proven himself fully capable of structuring advanced theoretical and theological arguments. They grow up so fast. And of course, he is betrothed and can marry, so we will finalize that. Actually, our army, as it marches further south, we're going to stop right here, right on the border. I want to see where these forces are amassing. Off to play, my daughter Constance, along with Isabel, have been invited to gathering at Piers of Countess Guigon at the House of Foix. Very well. I mean, that is a very large army. Very large indeed that is amassing. We can see there are 1,900, there are a few thousand going south. Espionage, murder. While performing her duties, Duke Henri of Burgundy has schemed from the shadows to have Count Robert murdered. Aha, interesting. All right, so we've got a very large force here amassing, allied force amassing there, and we are in the north. So we are going to head into the mountains of Navarra and just see what these guys do. I mean, that is an extremely large army. Can we actually win? I mean, 18,000. I mean, they're not going to get, the Crusaders are not going to get there in time to bolster that army enough. Don't really fancy our chances. I'm going to head to that mountain fortress. 18,000 are heading our way. Actually, we're going to just turn around. Duke Constant has passed away. You can no longer sway him. Okay. So our alliance has expired. And here they come. We are going to not head down there. That is a extraordinarily huge army. I'm going to sit here on the border in Navarre and just wait. I mean, they destroyed that first Crusader force. We need to wait for a very large army to come, and only then destroy them in the field. In the meantime, we just need to keep an eye on them so they don't come after us. And by large army, that needs to be coordinated better. We've got 5,000 sitting here. There's 7, that would be 12, plus us 15. I mean, there are way larger forces coming, but they need to come together as one host. Otherwise, this will not end well. Despite our best efforts, we haven't found anything. No, you need to keep looking. We need to find something on our liege. Yeah, we just need to keep an eye on these guys. See, now they're going to come down here, and they are going to smash into that army. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually move behind them and see how big of a force that is. If our 3,000 coming in can make a difference at all. Will we get there in time to make any difference? I don't think we will. But their army is getting beaten up a bit. If they can just hold on. I mean, there are 4,000 coming, 6,000 coming. Their army is vulnerable now. If we come in and hold them for battle... There we go. We need more, we need more, we need more. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's leaving. That's defeat. It just couldn't amass their troops quick enough to do anything there. I do not believe we will ever find anything. Very well, you know best. We're going to pull her home. And so far, this crusade is not going well, mainly because, I mean, there's a very large army coming here. And they just can't quite amass. If they could just come together as one, in one cohesive unit, they can win a battle. And I thought it was going to happen, but they kept bugging out. Just need to smash that army somehow, and it is not happening. This is, again, in my opinion, where the AI in Crusader Kings 3 kind of breaks down. I would like to be able to coordinate an army, a Crusader army like this, that you get everyone together at the same time instead of the way this is being handled. I mean, these are a lot of troops here. A lot coming together, and they're just kind of all running over the place. I don't know. There's the enemy army. If we can all get into one place at one time and everybody come in at once. There's a large army coming here. Keep an eye on this. This could turn. It's getting close. There we go. The tide has now turned in our favor, in the favor of the Crusaders. And now they will defeat them in the field. A huge and important victory for the Crusaders against that army. Very, very important. I mean, our troops are decimated, to say the least. They're split up a little bit. We need to rebuild. I mean, if they come up against us, we're absolutely hosed. So they're reforming their forces. We're just going to sit here and wait for right now. We've got another faction that's created against us. But, yeah, I just need to keep their large forces away. Well, let's move in here to the north. If that large host comes against us and the allies don't show up, then we will break off this siege. We'll just bug out to the neighboring county here. Okay, so they're drawing everybody in. We're not going to take part in this battle in the hopes that the Crusader armies kind of form together. I mean, it's tight. Okay, now it's swinging in the favor of the Crusaders. Okay, perfect. Yeah, they're going to smash their armies enough that that should buy us time. Councillor Udes has died. So we need a new council. We turn down that speed a little bit. So we need nickname the Greedy. My liege, have you heard what they call you? My knight Amar says to me while nodding energetically. Call you Duke Fulk the Greedy. Not what you would call flattering, perhaps, but it's unlikely that you can do anything to change it. For what it's worth, I promise not to call you by that name. The greedy? What? Preposterous. Okay, so we need a new marshal. Count Emery would be a very good one here, so we're going to assign him. And we're just going to keep an eye on this situation as the enemy's forces are kind of rebuilding. If a large force comes against us, we're gonna disengage from the siege of Monzon. You can see another counselor has died. Again, the marshal. Time for another new marshal. Bodevoy or Count Angelbert. Yes, we're gonna assign the count to that position. We need a new head of our army, and we are going to put Bodevoy at the head of our army. Fulk is not a warrior. He's not a warrior like his father and grandfather were, so he's not gonna mess around with that. Okay, larger enemy host is starting to head in our direction. Bump up the speed a little bit. I don't want to have to break off this siege. Are they going to turn north? If they're going to turn north, we have to disengage. Just going to keep an eye on them. No, they are heading south. Okay, perfect. So now we can start sieging them down here. Oh, that's a very large army. That's very, very large. I just want to get this siege. Ah, we gotta leave. Damn it. Gotta leave. Ah, we can't disengage fast enough. Uh-oh. That's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. Dang it. That is frustrating. And now we need to raise all of our armies as our army was destroyed in the field. And a new perk. We're going to go with Fearful Troopsmen at Arms, maintenance per dread. Now we're going to do Heerigheid. So vassal tax contribution plus 10%. And we need to raise forces again at home. And this is a problem now. It's going to take a while to amass our troops again and head south. That was really frustrating. See a large battle happening where we were so close to winning a siege, and unfortunately couldn't get it done. Let's head back to the home front here. And our military is, I mean, it's rebuilding. This is gonna take a while. You became the new dynasty head of the d'Anjou dynasty. Okay, so interesting. Let's take a quick look at this. House Plantagenet of the Anjou dynasty. Open dynasty tree. So Duke Geoffrey. Countess Hildegard. We are now Panta dynasty head. We are head of the Anjou dynasty. And House Plantagenet as well. Duke Fulk the Greedy. Let's head up here. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's no more Pomerania. Pomerania is gone. So we have the Petty Queen of Venezia. Norway has come in. Torsten the Gracious. Denmark is in there. So the Pomeranian holdings that were there in the Anjou house are no longer there. And that's why we are now head of the House d'Anjou. Interesting. Open legacies. But we're getting close to being able to pick a new one for the Anjous. Interesting. House Plantagenet. So, yeah. Dynasty of the House Plantagenet. Oh, how interesting it all always is in Crusader Kings 3. In our army, it's going to take a while for the army to rebuild, but we can see here it's looking like the Crusaders are Duchess Gabaga replaced you as dynasty head of the Anjou dynasty. Well, that's how quickly those things happen. All right, fair enough. He's still head of the house of the Plantagenets. So be it. Dangerous faction. We need to take a look at some of our internals here. A lot has happened. We've got prisoners we can ransom. So we're gonna do all that. Get those out of the way. Delicious face of Jesus has low durability. Okay, we can reforge or repair. Reforge cost is 1. Your assistance is great. In serving as your steward, I have learned much about record keeping and finance. I'm willing to tutor you in these topics. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Taking finance lessons. So we're going to repair that. And another ransom. And then we have people that we lack guardians. Marguerite. Marguerite, oh, she would be more in the diplomacy vein. She is spindly and curious. Renault. Or, yeah, Renault. Send that proposal. Educate the child. And Isabel. Stewardship. You know what? It's going to be me. I will educate the child, a worthy successor to the death of demons. Roubaud. You are back to that. We are still rebuilding our military here. That's going to take a while. Look down here. Are the Crusaders really making Simon languished in your prison? So the Crusaders are slowly but surely sieging down these territories. It's unfortunate that they weren't able to come to our aid fast enough. Yeah, getting our military strength back is going to take a lot. It's going to take a while. And honestly, we may miss out on the rest of the crusade in the meantime. You became the new dynasty head of the Anjou dynasty. So yeah, back and forth. We'll see what happens, right? But in the meantime, this is what we are focused on here, is keeping an eye on the crusade down here, which is going okay. I mean, they're sieging back some lands here. I mean, this is a crusade that could take quite a while to resolve. Not as fast as that Baltic crusade was initially. The Arpitan divergence. Small changes in dialects, slightly different customs. It was easy to miss at first. Over time, small changes led to large ones, however, and now the French living in Forêt have begun to identify themselves as Arpitan instead, acknowledging that the circumstance of one's birth does not always predict ability and competence. The Arpitanians are becoming more egalitarian and open as a society. Whether out of skillful manipulation or a genuine desire to lead his people into a new era, Count Lothaire has positioned himself as the leader of this cultural awakening. We will see what happens. Of course, we have our own cultural divergence we are still looking at doing. The key thing is we are missing a lot of the prestige needed. So we really need to bump up the prestige up to 2,000. Once we get there, we will 100% create the Angevin culture. That is without a doubt. We have the House Plantagenet, the Angevin culture creation. I mean, who knows what will happen at the end of this crusade? Unfortunately, we are missing out on most of it, including the land grabs. We can see they have won a lot back. A claim on Blois. For months, Titpold, Count Thibault's suffragan bishop, has been digging up spurious contracts and fabricated histories. Now Thibault dares to act as if it all amounts to a legitimate claim on Count Blois. That's our friend? Lies and more lies. I'm not overly concerned with that, but I do want to take a look. We were head back home, and we're going to slow this down and take a look here at factions. We've got a few here. This is one. The Duchy of Champagne is dangerous. Wants the Liberty faction that wants lower crown authority. And faction install Countess Ermengarde of Rethel on the Champagne throne. So these are ones to keep an eye on. There's a Liberty faction currently lowering crown authority against our liege. Count Geoffroy, a hunt. Head to our brother's court for a hunt while that's all happening in the south. Let me think about it real quickly. I want to see if we can petition our liege. We can't for dismantling of any of these factions at this point. So instead, I think going on a hunt to our brother would be exactly what's called for. And this is what we will do in the next episode as we possibly wrap up then that crusade for Aragon, see how the dynasty head situation shakes out for Fulk and the Plantagenets and the dynasty of Anjou. For all that and more, don't forget to stick around and keep watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button. You want to find out ways you can support the channel beyond watching and liking, which is the best way. There are links down in the description to Patreon, where there are a few different tiers and perks on Patreon, both when it comes to Crusader Kings 3 and strategy games, as well as tabletop role-playing games. And then if you are in the market to buy a new PC game, there's a link to my Nexus GG affiliate store down in the description as well, and all those purchases do help out the channel. So until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.